Hello, everyone, and welcome. We'll call the meeting of the Madison City Commission to order for the meeting of October 29th, 2012. Before we call the roll, I'd like to welcome our guests, Pac 5, correct? Troop 5, you better get it right. Troop 5, Boy Scouts of America, working on their merit badges. So welcome to the meeting, and glad to have you. Jeff, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Delzer?
Here.
Commissioner Erickson?
Here.
Commissioner Walder?
Here.
Commissioner Abraham?
Here.
Mayor Hexum?
Here. You have the minutes of the October 22nd meeting as a part of your record. Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes of the last meeting?
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes of October 22nd as presented. Second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the minutes of the October 22nd meeting as prepared. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. You have the agenda for this meeting before you. Are there any changes to the agenda?
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the agenda as prepared. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. Under appearances, acknowledgments, and correspondence, we have one item. That is to acknowledge the September investment report, the gross salaries, and the bills for ratification. Do you have any comment on any of the material, Jeff?
I know.
Take a motion to acknowledge the September investment report, gross salaries and bills for ratification.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we acknowledge the September investment report, gross salaries, and bills for ratification as presented. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. We have no items listed under old business. We have several items listed under new business. Number one is the first reading of Ordinance 1529. This is the Northwestern Public Service franchise. And Mr. Sid Gulbranson is here representing Northwestern. Do you have any comments for the group, Sid, on the proposed ordinance?
Other than there's been a change to the ordinance, I believe.
They should have the new copy.
It's on a
in front of
single
them.
sheet that was just passed
Right.
out.
There are a couple of minor changes, just changing the name of the company to Northwestern Public Service, and I can't recall, or I mean.
Corporation.
Northwestern Corporation instead of Northwest Public Service. And that, that we, in the same sentence, for the supply of natural gas, and the new copy says, to the effect of under the control of Northwestern Corporation. So that they're not responsible for, the actual gas is delivered by a Northern Natural Gas to some point outside of Madison,
Correct.
a couple miles or something?
Right on the north edge of town.
Yeah, right, right.
This would be the first reading. We would have, what, second reading in 2 weeks? Okay.
And maybe Sid can, or if Dave knows too, explain the necessity or the requirement for a natural gas franchise. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with cable TV, but obviously this must be either state or federal law, is that right, Sid, do you know?
As far as the years,
No, as far as actually granting you a franchise.
I believe it's a state law, because every state goes by a different number of years.
But you'll see at the end of section 1, the right herein granted will not be exclusive. In case some competition comes.
Right, and the franchise is for a period of 20 years. Correct, David?
That's correct. It's
not exclusive. If this were an exclusive franchise, we may have to have other discussions, but this is a non-exclusive situation. And really, the primary public policy behind this is to make clear that Northwestern can occupy certain alleys, streets, and other possible rights of way.
Okay. Any questions or?
We have like natural gas available now. Do we already have an ordinance?
Yes.
Or,
So
okay.
it was passed in
So,
93.
okay.
That's why he's here, because it expires.
I got you.
In January.
Yep, making sure. Okay.
What would be the effective date then? Because the month and day are,
20
20
days
days
from
after
the
the-
Thursday after 2 weeks from tonight.
okay. All right, I get you, okay.
I knew that was going to be the answer.
Okay. I
We'll
got it.
fill in the exact
Okay.
date.
We'll fill that in 2 weeks from tonight, so.
Right.
Okay, then the second reading would be held then on November 12th.
Correct.
The second reading for the
I had a question. Mayor.
ordinance.
Is
Yes.
there any, is this, how do we deal with different excavations or repairs of excavations? Is there a separate ordinance, or is that spelled out?
I think that's a city ordinance, as far as who's responsible for repairs and excavation.
Yeah.
and-
I noticed that
Are you
wasn't
aware of
in this ordinance.
Pardon me?
I noticed it wasn't in the ordinance. They're liable for any damages.
Damages only, I see it here.
This ordinance is limited to a franchise to occupy really public areas. That's it. It does not deal with any sort of excavation or repairs.
Now, I guess to answer your question, every city does it differently, so if I was to work in Howard, they've got a different rules that I have to apply to as far as paying for street repairs, things of that nature. Where we get a street opening permit here, we get a bill back later for the repairs and stuff, where some cities don't even send us a bill. I guess, does that help answer that part?
Yeah, and maybe it's something just need to look at, talk with Fred and look at our other excavation. There's another ordinance, right-of-way excavations. What I'm hearing maybe between the lines is that you basically comply with another ordinance that basically is right-of-way excavations component, and it talks about limitations on that and such, and repairs. And so do you know if you get an excavation permit every time you excavate, or how does that?
Just for the streets, I guess that's the only one I'm aware of.
Okay.
So if you
Well,
open up the
something-
street, but like if we do a boulevard or something like that, we'll put it back into the same condition it was prior to us being in that boulevard. Like down in Silver Creek, we're working in that area now, we've got to seed all that stuff and make sure more grass and stuff's gonna be there when we're done.
I will look at that too, and maybe talk to Sid or any questions, or and Jeff in the interim.
Well, if there's no other questions, could we have a motion?
I'll move to acknowledge or approve the first reading of ordinance 1529.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve the first reading of ordinance 1529 regarding the franchise for Northwestern Corporation for a period of 20 years. And the second reading will be on Monday, November 12th meeting. Any other questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. Thank you, Sid. Appreciate it. Number 2, under new business, review utility credit card payment option. Jeff?
Mayor, with your permission, I would like to step around at the table and maybe show a little demonstration of our new credit card payment system. That's okay?
Here's your credit card with you.
Okay.
Could
No,
we
we're not
use-
going to take his.
Can we use his
He's
for
already,
a
he's
for a
already
few of
told me
them?
that I don't qualify.
So, you may recall that I'm going to ask Karen Matheson. Karen is sits in the front office and takes care of all the payments and the new accounts and all the workings with the citizens who come in and pay their utility bills. Disconnections, applications for service, payment dates, sending out bills, that type of thing. So she's the point person on this new system that you approved a few months ago. And basically, it allows utility customers to pay their utility bill online. And I wanted to just go through, just take a couple minutes and go through the system. And I've got Karen here to back me up. So, so when I goof this up, she can tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Why are you here?
And Jim's back here too, and so between the three of us, we'll figure it out. Anyway, this is our homepage on our website. And so for any customer who is interested in signing up or paying their bill online, can do so just by going to cityofmadisonsd.com. And this is the home page, and right there we have, you can see, to sign up for the new services online. So in there, you just click on that button, and we would come in here, and I'll go here first. I wasn't going to, but if they want to sign up, they would just go to here, and you can see how quickly it does operate. It's very fast. The only thing they have to do is type in their name, last name, email. We need an email, phone number, and then their account number. And here's an example down here on the right of the account number, which is right on their utility bill. So when they do that, then basically they are signed up. And once we hit complete request, what's it do? It tells them that there's...
It asks them to verify their address.
Yes,
which is also
exactly.
on the utility bill.
It comes up with like 5 addresses, and only one of them, it's a security thing, and only one of them is their address. And then they just have to click on the right address, and then that gets them set up. And then they're ready to go. So, and they only have to do that once. And so then, when they do go in to pay, they go in here. Karen, why don't I let you go ahead and sign up? And I'm going to let Karen sign in here, because she is set up. And you can see it comes up very fast, operates, and it will go in, and they would just go in to make payment. And see, it goes in, and it tells them how much is due. Karen has paid her bill, so she's a very prompt customer. So, and then you would just go in and you could pay all the bill, or part of the bill, or however much you want. You put it right in there, then you just hit add, and it just takes you, and then it just says checkout summary, and it's pretty much taken care of.
Will it let you pay more than your bill?
Yes.
Yes.
So if somebody
There's a credit
puts the
on
decimal
bill.
place in the wrong spot, we can.
And then they would just click pay now, and it's done. So it's a very simple, easy payment. It's not complicated at all. Now, what we are excited about, there is an auto pay. And what this function allows is that within, you can see right here, between 1 and 6 days prior to the due date, it will automatically deduct the payment in full from their account. So they go in here and they can sign up, and I can go ahead and hit accept, right, Karen?
Right.
And they would then just type in their first name and give us their credit card information here, and then it saves it, and then they are signed up, and their payment every month within 1 to 6 days prior to the due date, so it goes right up to the end, it will charge it to their credit card. And then. that's
And
all.
Jeff, it's important also to mention that it's not just a credit card, it could also be their debit card, so.
That's exactly
It-
correct. That's exactly right, Mike. And so that's all there is to it for making the payment. And I wanted to just show you a couple of, let's see, it was home, right, Karen? For the consumption. And then, see, this is Karen's account number. So to get a little history of her account, she goes in here, and you see this consumption history. If she wants to see what she's used, is this gonna do it again, Karen? Yep, it did. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this again. Because this works all the time, but it, okay, let's go over here. Yeah, we don't want, view chart. See right there, it's the consumption chart. If they click on that, it gives them a bar chart of, she is a out-of-town residential electric customer. And you can see down here from 2000, get this works a little better. From last month, it shows how much consumption, so she used approximately 1,300 kilowatt hours. Last month, you had a little spike in usage there, Karen, what was going on?
Scott was cleaning fish. Put his electric fish cleaner.
So then it goes back, and it goes back 2 years. See, so people can monitor their usage on a bar chart there. And if they want to see it numerically, we can go, oh, I went too far, didn't I? And then there's actual numerically the consumption amounts, see, under there. See, and she's on an automated read system. You may recall, by the way, too, I'll give a little plug for that, that the commission approved that a couple of years ago. We have a number of automated meter readings now around town, and it is working phenomenally well. Where the meter reader just drives around and hits a button and it just reads the meters. And so it's got date, and that's the actual reading off the meter, and that's the consumption. And that also goes back 2 years, too. So you may just click the second page to go to the next, year back. So that's available to the customers. And then the billing history, if they'd like to see how much they, paid each month. See, you can tell when we were kind of testing it. Karen was making partial payments. She was our guinea pig when we were testing this. So, so they could see their payment history. She was on ACH, and it is on ACH, actually, which is also another option that people have, bank debits.
So if somebody is on ACH, then do you want them to change over to pull from the debit card, or it's basically the
Well,
same thing?
as far as
or-
we're concerned, it really doesn't matter, does it? As far as we're concerned, we do pay a commission on the credit card system where we don't on
Okay.
the bank debit system. So that's available. So we have consumption history, billing history, consumption chart. And the last thing I wanted to just point out is people can go into e-billing, and if they check that box right there, they will get their bill emailed to them. And we have about 15 people that have signed up for that already. And we haven't even advertised this at all.
By doing that, does that make you a paperless customer?
Yes, totally. Totally paperless.
Any projections on cost savings to the city by doing
No, I
that?
don't know. No, I guess we'd have to think about
40
that,
cents
put
and
together something on
however
that.
much to print and. so-
Well, yeah, there's
It's
that.
probably gonna be close to a wash by the time we pay the fees on the credit cards, so.
Right.
Yeah. Right. But we'd like to see more people do that who are interested. It is available. And so that's about it. I don't need to go into setting. No, that's just if they want to change their password, because it assigns the people a password. So when they go and make a payment, after they set up their account, they'll have to enter their email address and then their password. They can want to change that if they'd like.
One other quick question on the e-billing. Will that also send, I assume, in a PDF format, our newsletter, or, because there's some good information in that for
You know, we should
the
probably
citizens,
check
so
on
I know that's a good
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get,
stuff for
that.
when
You see what he's
that.
asking?
Yeah.
Could we
Yeah.
send
Thinking
the,
about that too.
we should maybe look into that to see if people would like the newsletter email to them rather than. because-
Along with the bill.
Because how is that gonna work now?
you'd have to have a separate email list. There's a little bit of management you'd have to do,
Right.
just the opting in and the opting out and the, because it's
Yeah.
a
We'll
commercial
talk about that.
transmission.
To see. But we have close to 70 people that have signed up for this already. And that's without a number of the people that we have been manually entering their automatic payment for months or even a year or two. Now, we just sent letters out to them and said, please go in this way now and do it. And only a few of those people have actually done it, haven't they?
3.
3 out of how many? Another 60 or so?
There was like 110 total.
110. So there could be at least another 100 that are gonna be doing this very soon.
Excellent.
So anyway, I thought I'd give you a little demonstration on how simple, you know, it appears to be working great. And then we get the money within what, 3 to 5 days?
2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days. The money's back to us through the credit card processing company. So, anyway, that's all I have. I'll give a plug to Karen. Karen pretty much runs that front office out there, and there isn't anything about the billing system that she does not know. And so, do not cross paths with her.
Or your bill will go up.
So she
Well, this-
takes care of all this stuff.
This is great, good, that's nice, smooth, easy.
Yeah, it was very, very simple. It took a couple months, you know, kind of behind the scenes, you didn't see or hear. There were a few issues getting it set up. It took a few months, but it's up and running fine now. Trying to get the interface between our software package and this system, you know, it always takes some tweaking to do, but it worked. So, okay, that's all I have.
Very good, thank you.
Okay.
I think that consumption history is very interesting, because if a customer has a question about their usage, bingo, you can go right back, you know, without coming into the other computer and looking up your usage history.
Right.
You've got it right there online, and
Well, we
if there's
think
any, if there's anything that's out of kilter, it
Right.
should show up.
Point it out right away. We think it'll cut down on a lot of the inquiries in our office on consumption and how much money you see and that type of thing.
Well, thank you.
So,
Thank you.
okay,
Thank
yep.
Keep up the
Thanks,
good
Karen.
work. Well, there's no other questions on that. New business number 3, bills for approval, bills for ratification.
Make a motion to approve and ratify the bills.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve and ratify the bills as presented. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 4, Resolution 2818. This is regarding changes in the Community Development Block Grant for ICAP. I guess, Jeff, do you want to comment on that?
I could. By approving this resolution, it allows all the payments to go directly from ICAP to the vendors, and the payments from the block grant program to go directly to ICAP rather than to come through the city and then the city turn around and write the check to ICAP. This is a mechanism, because it's a little different type a block grant, because this isn't a block grant that is a city project. And you may recall, we've gotten block grants for city projects. Well, this is a block grant on behalf of ICAP. But it still needs to be approved by the city and that type of thing. This just allows the payments to go directly to them.
We're just the facilitator for the block grant.
Procedural changes.
Yep, that's all it is.
That's what it is, okay?
I'll move the adoption of Resolution 2818 for the Community Development Block Grant payment to go directly to NRH Community Action.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve Resolution 2818 regarding payment changes in the Community Development Block Grant going directly to Interlakes Community Action Program. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 5. This would be to adopt the job description for the finance officer's job.
This would be the updated, we just went through and updated the job description for the finance officer. A few things have changed in the last 150 years since Jeff started. The position's evolved over time, and so we went back through and reworked the job description to more accurately reflect the duties of that position as it currently sits. So that is what is before you this evening.
Any questions or comment on the job description? If not, then we would need a motion to adopt the job description as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we adopt the job description for the finance officer's position as presented. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 6, to adopt the assistant finance officer job description. Okay, again,
This is somewhat similar with the promotion of Jen Eimers to the finance officer. We have an opening for the assistant finance officer, and at this time we went through and reevaluated that job description and updated it to more accurately affect that position, and that is what we have before you this evening.
are there any questions or comments on the job description for the assistant finance officer?
Did you explain that the grade changed?
I guess I was gonna hit on that when we do the
Oh, okay.
salary resolution,
Okay.
so.
Jen, you were involved in this.
Yes.
You were able to get some of the finance officer's duties pushed down to the assistant. Now the first thing I would have done. This kind of guy. No, you're comfortable with it?
I am. Thank you.
Okay, did we have a motion? Let's see.
No.
Oh,
No.
is there a motion then to
I'll
adopt?
move to adopt the job description of the assistant finance officer.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we adopt the job description for the assistant finance officer's position. Any further questions or speaking? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 7, Resolution 2819. This will be amending the 2012 salary resolution.
Okay, this will deal with the two different positions we spoke about earlier. The first one listed on here is the assistant finance officer position. We are changing the grade to a 17. That was a 19. Is that correct? That's at the recommendation of both the current finance manager and the assistant finance manager. That correlates closely with the current, or where the current assistant finance manager started. So is that correct? Am I stating that properly? So essentially, it's aligning it for a new person in that position where they would start. The other one is setting the grade scale for the full-time position of the finance officer. The range will be 60,000 to 75,000. That was adjusted from the previous finance manager's position, I guess.
Okay. If there are no questions, would you want to make a motion to approve Resolution 2819?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2819, amending the 2012 salary resolution.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve Resolution 2819, amending the 2012 salary resolution. This is for the finance officer's position and the assistant finance officer's position. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 8, personnel recommendations, which are part of your package.
I'll move to approve the personnel recommendations.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the personnel recommendations as prepared. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. We have no other business scheduled for this meeting. We do have an executive session scheduled under SDCL 1-25-2(3). So if we're prepared to go into executive session, could we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to go into executive session, about 6:03.